amazing. We're speaking with Jesse Dayton at the Mucky Duck, which we love. He will be playing tonight at 9:30. And Jesse, we've known each other a long time.
Long time, man.
And
like before
I was talking to Leroy, who's our videographer, and he said, you've got to get Jesse before he goes on this run.
Yeah.
Something has happened with Jesse. All of a sudden, Jesse is like propelled to the next level,
Yeah.
more exposure. And I believe he's right, even though you've been a hard-working troubadour.
No, it's
Something
definitely
has happened. You the next rung, you're up there, and
yeah.
And with your radio show, tell us about your radio show.
Well, I mean, to address what you said initially, so this is what happened. I was playing the Broken Spoke every week in Austin, not touring, not making records, but I was making movies. So I would leave and go do a movie, and you know, the thing about the movie industry is they still have real budgets. You know, the record industry, there's not much, you know, people aren't getting, you don't do it because you're going to get rich unless you're like some youth market, you know, pop diva or something like that. You damn sure don't play the music that I'm playing with thoughts of getting
You ain't no
rich.
Korean pop, I'll tell you that.
Right. But what happened was John Doe called me from X and said, hey, do you want to come out on tour with me and do David Letterman? And so I did that whole national tour with him, and he let my band open, and then we brought him out. And then we had like a base all over again. So we had a national, so we went back to all those places and played, and we had to rebuild it all up, start all over again. But I had made some money off of the music, off of the movie thing. So I wasn't freaking out about going out on the road and losing my ass and being broke, you know. So it made it easier. I bought a house in South Austin, put some money away for my kids' college. You know, like the movie thing really genuinely helped me a lot.
Like a 401k, huh?
Yeah. Like I got
That's
an
awesome.
accountant and got my shit together, and you know, and then we went out on tour for like nothing for like 2.5 years. Like I would just pay the band, I would pay for overhead, and I wouldn't take any money myself. And then eventually we started selling tickets, and then boom, what do you know? We're selling out 2 nights in Seattle. And we're packing them in Nashville, and we're packing them in New York, and LA, and San Francisco, and it just starts happening. So, you know, it's been a long struggle back to the middle, brother.
This is still fun for you, then.
It is. I mean, listen, there's an old saying where people say actors want to be musicians and musicians want to be actors. Let's set the record straight right now on Rick Iscardo's show.
All right, let's do it.
Actors want to be musicians a hell of a lot more than musicians want to be actors. And this is why. If you're Robert De Niro or George Clooney or A-class zillionaire actor, you're still sitting out 8 hours a day in a trailer on set waiting to do your thing. I'm fixing to go out and play a show here. It's sold out tonight. After the first song of the show, instant gratification. It's the best. So I left all those people in the movie thing and just ran screaming back into the arms of the music business.
And as a fan and someone who appreciates you and has been in the industry with my radio show and this new podcast, we appreciate you.
Well, thanks. I mean, I had a lot more to say, and it was time to make another record, and this company in LA gave me this great record deal, and they've been a huge help, you know, and I have this team of people around me. And what y'all should do is put an 8-track in every one of them, okay? Keep it real. We got your little 8-track over here. Song I wrote in London after we played, and I was hanging out with Joe Strummer's daughter and telling her how her father saved me from going to Styx concerts. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, Camden Town, got all drunk on 20 pounds. Seen inside about another round. London rain kept falling down in Camden Town. Well, my friend, he is crazy in the head, and I couldn't understand a thing he said. Living in a trailer on caravan, tiger and a redneck, same damn thing. Well, Camden Town, got this drunk on 30 pounds. Seen inside him on another round. London rain kept falling down in Camden Town. Hop, hop, hop. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm riding on my tube with a businessman, and I'm looking like someone the cat drug in. Staring at my boots, leave me alone. Texas boy's a long way from home. Yes, Camden Town, got all drunk on 40 pounds. Seen inside him on another round. London rain kept falling down at Camden Town. Hop, hop, hop. Slaves, old Joe Strummer turning in his grave. Bygone days living on the dole. Well, the corporate devil's done bought my soul. Yes, Camden Town, got all drunk on 30 pounds. Seen inside him on another round. London rain kept pissing down in Camden Town. Well, it's raining down in Camden Town. Well, it's pouring, raining down in Camden Town. This team of people around me, and my wife's a Jewish girl from Los Angeles who grew up in the music business. Her father
didn't know that.
Yeah, her father was a legendary publisher, and her grandfather was a legendary music publisher too. And they worked with Phil Spector and the Beatles and Elvis and Motown and all this stuff, and so we laugh about it now. We're like, I wonder who would be like the best manager for me. Oh yeah, what about my wife?
Well, it wouldn't be the Colonel.
Yeah. Well, you know the difference between the Colonel and a hooker, right?
What?
A hooker will stop banging you after you're dead.
Oh man. That's the music business for you.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, they say if you think life's unfair, check out the music business. But anyway, as soon as she started managing me, she left. She was working at Live Nation as an executive, and I did a few gigs and got this record deal where we put some money away, and we said, okay, she's like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to walk away from it and manage you. And so she does it, and it's, finding people who care about you, what you do as much as you do, is infinitely impossible. Finding someone who cares about as much as you do and is smarter than you are is like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, they're always smarter than us, Jesse.
Yeah, she is smarter than me.
Yeah, I think that's great, because that can be a real double-edged sword, but obviously you have a great relationship. She grew up in the business. She understands what a snake is. And snakes will bite you.
Yeah, and she's, all the cliches. I mean, partying and chicks and all that stuff. She doesn't, all that stuff's silly to her. Because she was an A&R person. She signed bands for A&M, and she worked with Social Distortion, and She worked for...
Jesse, I've known you over 20 years, and I'll tell you, you have always been the consummate professional, which is good. The show says 9:30, you're on at 9:30.
Yeah, man, I care.
And you give the people what they paid for. I mean, it's entertainment.
It's 2 hours out of my life. It's 2 hours out of my life. Hey, we got to keep that door shut. Oh, okay.
We recorded called "Lately I've Let Things Slide." It's about it's for all you people who are in long-term relationships who somehow miraculously kept it together. You know how it is. It's a roller coaster. You go through phases and stages, like Willie says. Anyway, here we go, boys. 1, 2, 3. With a growing sense of dread and a hammer in my head, fully clothed upon my bed. Yes, I wake up to the world that lately I've been living in. There's a cut upon my brow. I must have banged myself somehow, but I can't remember now. Yes, my front door's open wide, 'cause lately I've let things slide. Well, I go to the bin and I throw my laundry in, pick out the cleanest, dirty shirt, and I keep telling myself that I don't really hurt. Well, smoking I once quit, but now I've got one lit, 'cause I just fell back into it. And my front door's open wide, 'cause lately I've let things slide. Here you go, boys. To the bin and I throw my laundry in, pick out the cleanest dirty shirt, and I keep telling myself that I don't really hurt. Well, that untouched takeaway that I brought home the other day, it's got quite a lot to say. Well, the message is clear on either side. Oh, yes, about how lately I've let things slide. And I'm still holding on, my friends, 'cause lately I've let things slide. Oh. Thank you very much for the water. We'll get to the whiskey and beer just a little bit, darling. We're a little banged up.
So, it's a weird thing, man. It's like you got 22 and a half hours to party, to screw your life up.
Radio show.
Then you got 2 hours on stage.
On stage, yeah.
And it's like,
I think you win.
well, you know what I'm saying, though?
Oh, dude, I get it.
I mean, I tell people all the time, why is he, not that I haven't had a few drinks on stage, and got a little tipsy, but Dean Martin style, never like George Jones where I'm falling off the stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it just blows me away. It's like, dude, you have 90 minutes usually, or 2 hours out of your whole day that you just got to keep it together.
I can't get past the hooker comment.
Oh, the hooker, yeah, screwing.
Yeah, I love that one.
Hooker will stop screwing you when you're dead.
Yeah. We're speaking with Jesse Dayton at the fabulous Monkey Duck. What are they, 26 years old, I think? Been around a while.
I don't know. They've been around.
They've been around.
I've been playing here since I was a kid.
Oh, well, you still are a kid. You're still a good-looking guy.
Oh, God.
Jesse asked me as I was walking in, "You didn't tell me you're going to film this." I said, "You look pretty, Jesse. You'll be all right." So we are at the Monkey Duck, speaking with Jesse Dayton on Ricky's Here with the Media, our podcast, Lone Star Jukebox, and this is a little rare commodity. If it shows up,
I got to give that away, actually.
I know you do. So you're touring. You're doing more on the tour, man. You're like going all out.
Yeah.
On this great new CD called
Mixtape.
Jesse Dayton Mixtape.
Yeah.
And first of all, I love the old school.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, the old cassette. So
remember those days.
yeah, what prompted this?
And it's coming out on cassette too.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So if you got an old car.
God damn it, you should do a couple of 8 tracks so somebody can burn
I
those for
know,
you.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
But
how did you pick the songs for this?
well, so this is what happened. I did 2 original records back to back. Those records did really good for me. One called The
Daddy
Revealer.
Was a Badass?
Yeah, one called The Revealer, one called The Outsider. And they were good, critically acclaimed. We sold, more than I thought we ever would. And then the 3rd year came, and I was like, man, I need some time before I make another record. And I was like, why don't I just put together some songs I've always wanted to cover so we can get something out to the fans and have fun with it. And a lot of those songs are songs that I heard like when I was a real little kid. I mean, the world does not need another Americana / outlaw country / whatever country singer doing Waylon Jennings covers. Like if I hear that one more time, I'm gonna get in a warm bathtub and slit my wrist. Like you can
turn the radio off.
Yeah, but you can, you know what I'm saying? Like you could just put on a Waylon record, man.
I get it.
You could just put on a Waylon record.
Do the real thing. Why do?
Because I think that, like I basically just made a Jesse Dayton record, but I did these songs. And
I think, Jesse, that shows the maturity and your grasp of the music. Because how many times, and maybe even you were guilty of this, I've seen over 28 years of radio, oh my God, hundreds if not thousands of musicians where I have to, not all of them, but some of them, you go, listen, you're trying really hard, but let your voice come out.
Yeah.
You have a great voice. Don't try and be anybody else because you can't keep that up.
Yeah, no.
It's like keeping up a lie.
Yeah.
So tell me the truth. Show me the truth. And Jesse Dayton has emerged as the truth.
We brought the acoustic trio version tonight. We didn't want to get too sophisticated for this audience. Play a little song here that I wrote when I was on tour with a band called the Super Suckers. And me and this guy named Eddie Spaghetti went into a truck stop outside of Fayetteville, and this guy ran into the place, and he looked like Ernest T. Bass, and he said, "Hey man, I don't want to cut in line, but my old lady just shot out the windshield of my Peterbilt." And he goes, "I need some Arkansas chrome right now." And the guy goes, "Would you be talking about duct tape?" And I had a Shakespearean white trash epiphany and went out to the bus and wrote this song here. So I thought it would be Here we go, boys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Well, 100 miles an hour in the ghost lane, 500 horsepower won't take away my pain. So I'm driving it home. I took a shotgun blast to the back windshield, it's all taped up. My last roll Arkansas chrome. Well, I poured those honey on a two-way, met a lot of desert at the Last Chance Truck Stop Cafe. She was mean to the bone. Well, she broke my fool, heart in two. I'm a holding it together with a strip of Arkansas.